Hey to the people, what's going on? It is me, Chase. This is No Chaser TV, and I've got a special guest for you because the one, the only, our favorite friend, our favorite face, get into the bug, honey, Miss Jassi Rideau Harris. Is it Jazzy Harris, Jazzy Rideau Harris? What are we calling you?
Jassi Harris will work just fine.
Get into it. Jazzy Harris is here back
Yeah.
on No Chaser TV. We met back at the Reality Rundowns event in DC, and Jazzy has always been so supportive of the brand. So I'm really glad that Jazzy stopped by to talk to us today about all things Potomac, as well as some things that she has going on as well, such as doing good. Is it doing good in Dallas or doing good for Dallas?
Yes, it's doing good in Dallas.
Doing good in Dallas. So we're going to talk about that as well. We have a lot of things that we're going to get into, and we're going to get started right now. But before we do, Jazzy, how was your holiday and how are you?
Well, thank you so much. I am well, Chase. I am doing incredible. I am still on the high of all the love I felt throughout the holiday season and Thanksgiving. Had an incredible time. How was your Thanksgiving? Happy holidays to you. It's been a minute. Thanks for having me on today.
No problem. It was great. I got to spend time with my mom. So, that's Chase Senior, baby. That's Big Chase, honey. So,
Okay.
anytime I get to be with the senior, I love it and was with family. So, it's great. But the best part of my holiday actually is being here with you because we have some things to get into and we're going to do it, right?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. First, I want to congratulate you on your wedding. Just tell us, the wedding was posted. Well, we saw the wedding a little bit on the show, but it was posted more in full on your personal socials. It looked like a blast. All of Dallas media was there. It just looked like a phenomenal, fabulous time. Explain to us, excuse me, tell us what you think about the wedding and how it went.
The wedding was absolutely impeccable. It was everything that I could have dreamed of. I told my wedding planner, shout out to my soror and wedding planner, Shamika, that, I wanted my guests to have a good time. I'm a fun girl. I knew that it will be some emotional moments, but I'm like, right after that, let's, make sure the DJ has us lit. I got my aunties. I got the fams from both sides. My man is from Memphis. So
Yes.
they was ready to get turned. I mean, it was so authentic and so beautiful how the families came together and just had a ball. I did not want them to be hungry. I did not want the feet to be hurting. I did not want them to be thirsty. I didn't want them to have to wait a long time for drinks. So I had 4 or 5 bars. I had food to continuously be coming, fireworks, the stilt dancers and acrobats. I mean, I just wanted them to have an incredible time. The only thing I regret, actually, I regret two things.
Okay.
First thing I regret is not planning that day for a backup, and I'll get into that later. But
Okay.
my bridesmaids were all supposed to be down there. I had, I think, 10
Oh,
bridesmaids and a bridesman. Shout out to my day freaking ones. Before Potomac, after Potomac, my crew that showed up to be in my bridal party are people that I would not be here today if I didn't have friends like that in my life. But man, the only thing I regret is that they weren't able to stand up there with me because
oh.
unfortunately their bridesmaids' dresses didn't make it in time. They ended up having to run to get emergency dresses. They ended up coming back to the wedding. I told them I'm not going out there until my bridesmaids are back with other dresses. So that got really crazy. Honestly, we would need hours to talk about that. That
I'm like
my wedding
dying.
actually needs its own. My wedding needs its own show, and I'm really thankful to
Absolutely.
Bravo for the edit that they did because they really could have played. Okay,
Oh my God. Bravo was there for the whole thing.
Bravo was there for the whole thing.
Oh, you really got blessed by the edit because, oh
So
my
a lot of people want
God.
to talk about the edit. Jazzy's happy with the edit.
Okay. Right. I know that was a talking point, but listen, I don't know if I would have wanted that on camera because I know me, I probably would have been like freaking out, melting down. It would have been a lot. It would have been a lot.
When somebody comes into your wedding bridal suite with sewing machines and a team to start sewing when they were supposed to be finished,
No,
I had
ma'am.
to just focus on the good though. I already had three custom looks and another dance look, and those were complete, including my matron of honors dress was complete. So if you notice, you'll see just one person standing with me. So I
Mhm.
had to roll with the punches and remember nothing can ruin this day.
Uh, Listen, I have to do that all the time. Like, nope, not gonna let it ruin the day. We're gonna keep
Committed
it
to
moving.
having a great day.
Absolutely, absolutely. Did you get a refund? Because absolutely not.
Absolutely. And I still work
Oh,
with the designer. She really is absolutely
okay,
incredible. And
okay.
I always point the finger at me because I'm that girl that if you say yes, you can do it, I'm gonna push your limits. If you say, I could probably get 15 custom dresses done in a matter of 60 days, I'm gonna be like, okay, make it 25. So,
Oh, okay, okay. I see. I see. I see.
she's a great designer. I still work with her. She's responsible for my latest confessional look. Still love her so much.
The
Shout out
white,
to all the Black designers. And I think,
yeah,
say it again.
the white dress, the converted
Yeah.
look. Okay, yes,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
So shout out to all the designers and all of the business owners that have, a celebrity, clients that really require them to take it to the max with their creativity. Um, at the end of the day, my wedding still turned out incredibly beautifully. And I still have longevity with those girls. And, they ended up being able to be with me for most of the wedding. So that's what matters.
Okay. And as long as you're surrounded in love and everybody understands it's not about them, it's what's best for you and your husband, you guys' day and the wedding, I'm sure everything after
Absolutely.
that just felt like water off a duck's back, right? What in the
That's
words of
right.
what's his name? Angel's
Mama
husband,
Matt.
water off a duck's back, mama. Like he is just so
Right.
okay, so speaking of the wedding, you re-enter the group while you're still in the planning phase of your wedding as we're leading up to it. And you enter the group during Preakness. Now, though you tried to bring the fun, you and Keiarna had a reading battle for the ages, honey. Oh my God, I was gagged. What was it that you told Wendy that you think could have gotten Keiarna so upset with you, or do you think that it was a game of telephone and things got lost in translation?
No, if I'm being honest, Chase, like if I'm talking to you as Chase
As
and
we do.
Jassi,
Yes.
okay, the season was still early.
Okay.
And between me, you, and the thousands of people that will watch this,
Yes.
um, Kay was trying to do the most. She was just trying to do the most and see what stuck, I think. So yeah, I feel like she was just trying to do the most. Kay and I had already hashed that situation out. So I say she was trying to do the most because if you and I say, hey, we're going to have lunch today and then tomorrow you don't show up, we discuss why you didn't show up or what really happened, etc. If you bring it up 4 or 5 months later, that's weird to me.
Oh wow, it'd have been that much
And when
time
you
that
first
elapsed.
see me as if that's not old news, you're weird and you're trying to have a moment and
What?
didn't
Huh.
land all the way like she wanted it to.
Oh my goodness. No, I hate that the girls are not getting along. You two other girls. What is
And you
going
know what?
on?
And I like Kay. I
Yeah.
really do. Kay and I had some good moments last season, and I've always been rooting for Kay. But when a person has moments that you don't know what's triggered that, or you consider a person somewhat of a friend or associate, and they come at you sideways, then it's like all bets are off, girl. If you want to read, then bring your best because I'm going to tell you a thing or two.
Oh my goodness. Now, speaking of Wendy and Keiarna, what is your take on their issues this season? Does Keiarna have a legitimate gripe with Wendy? Do you think that there's a reach in that as well? Or where did you land in regards to that?
You know, sometimes I feel like Kay is that little sister who wants to be the big sister. The energy for me when I think about that is like Kay is trying to take it to the max for whatever reason that she might have, but it never lands because it never comes at the right time. Kay, what are you talking about? Like, what are
Mm.
you really upset about? And it often makes the person question while looking at it from the outside looking in. It's like, are you okay? Is all of this because you would prefer not to talk about your relationship, or is this happening because this is how you truly feel about the ladies that you know and your friends?
Okay. A lot of fans have felt that maybe we're getting this side of Kay to I don't want to say it bluntly, but to kind of balance out what we maybe did not get last season. Do you think that that's like a thing? You're in the bubble, you're in the canon, you're filming it. Is there a such thing as overcompensating, or you know, tailoring your responses and your delivery and what you bring to camera to keep your position on the show, or is that just something that the fans have kind of held on to and run with, no matter who it is and what they give each individual season?
Look, I think that there is some legitimacy in regards to people trying to do the most to, keep their position, etc. And I can see how that may be true as to why she might have been a little turned this season. Maybe she listened to some of the feedback from last season and decided, like, you know what? Well, I'm going to just turn it up. I'm gonna have an issue with everyone because I would rather not be boring. And I just think that in her quest to maybe try to make the drama a little more than it was, because it wasn't really drama, it doesn't stick.
Okay, all right.
And I
Well,
like Kay. I'm not, you know what I
no,
mean?
you just
Kay and I have had some really good moments, but
yeah.
this season in particular, I have to be honest.
Kind of unrelated to your experience. Well, maybe it's related to your experience, but unrelated to the show. Chanel Ayan was just on Humble Brag with Cynthia Bailey and Crystal Kung Minkoff, and she said that Keiarna was one of the rudest people she met at BravoCon. Um, does that sound like the Keiarna you know, or do you think that's just all smoke and mirrors and salacious headline?
Well, I was at a football game during BravoCon.
Mhm.
I, didn't see a lot of her demeanor. What I will say is this: I think that Kay is going through a season where she's not maybe happy as she's been in the past. And I think that it may or may not be the reason as to why people are just kind of getting a different side of her. But I do feel that Kay is usually a really nice girl. I think that it's not really in her personality to want to be rude or Dear, now you know I'm in an interview. Well, you want to say hi to Darius?
Hey, what's going
I'm
on?
like, who is this creeping in the back? Anyway, um, but like I said, I think that she's typically a very nice girl. So if people are noticing a demeanor that is kind of nasty or mean, I think it's just maybe a representation of kind of the season she's having right now. And it's unfortunate. We've all had seasons where we weren't necessarily in the best place or in our world, where we
Mhm.
want it to be. So.
Well, I hope that's not true, for me, because I actually went in liking Kay a lot. And I hope that if that is true, that hopefully she gets through whatever it is that, she may be going through, if that is the case. Now, the last thing about Keiarna I wanted to know is you said that what would really piss Wendy off is the timing of whatever Keiarna said to you. Now, Ashley Darby was at her, I don't know what you call it, her musical performance. And she made some not so nice comments about Wendy Osefo after Wendy's arrest and the charges. And then she said something that kind of set everyone, like made them sit up in their seat, because she says that this isn't something allegedly that is new to the group, and that the group has had these discussions for a while now about Dr. Wendy. You don't Well, I'm not going to even preface it. I'm going to let you say what you want to say. Is the timing of what Keiarna said, does it have anything to do with the speculation that the group, according to Ashley, may have had about whatever the situation was with the robbery?
That's a good question to pose, but to be completely transparent with you,
Mhm.
last year or last season, I was new to the group.
Right.
So how they felt, I may have not been intuitive enough with the group to really recognize.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say that those two necessarily correlated. I know that Ashley did have some dialect about Wendy's situation, which was confusing to me last season and even more confusing to me this season.
Okay, okay. I just, because that was a theory going around, and so I'm glad we kind of can debunk that for the most part. So that's good.
Yeah, that I'm not sure if those two correlated, but honestly, that whole situation is extremely confusing. Being as though, since I met Wendy, that is completely opposite of who the woman I got to meet is.
Absolutely. And I'm rooting for her and pulling for
Of
her
course, we
as
all
well.
are, because wasn't she eating it up this season?
Yeah, we need Zen
Wasn't
Win.
she
What's
eating it
going
up?
on? Win put the finger waves in the
Baby.
goddamn
I said,
business.
come on, finger waves.
Come
When you
on,
come
finger
in with a
waves,
bust
man.
down or the finger waves, baby, the face card don't decline.
Does not decline. Now,
It's looking good.
yeah, I hope so too. Now someone that people feel like maybe declining for them in the viewer interest category is Keiarna's good Judy Angel. So you and Angel connected for the first time over being wags at Preakness. Do you think Angel was throwing shade by mentioning her husband Bobby's Massey's position, or is that a common greeting in the WAG world? Because you're entrenched into this world now, you are a WAG, and so is this like what people do when they say, "Hey, I am so and so, and what do you do?" Is that kind of like common WAG speak, or was it as shady as the girls took it? And did you take it that way?
I definitely didn't take it that way.
Mhm.
I came in skipping, feeling good, ready to shake the girls up. And initially, when she asked anything like that, I didn't really take it that way. When I later found out that there was some, talk about how she's treated people and things like that, I mean, I did raise an eyebrow as to like looking back, was it shade? But to be honest, I was really happy to meet Angel. I thought that it would be incredible to have not just a, wife and girlfriend of a former athlete, but somebody who has had longevity in the game and whose husband spent 10 years. And when people come around me and have been in a position that I one day will have to be at regardless, I love to be around people who I may be able to grow from and learn something from. So I think that Angel coming at the whole situation when she first met me, um, her friend Kay could have hyped her up to be a little shady, but I didn't take it that way. I mean, I really didn't. And she says that she wasn't being shady. So, I mean, that's what I'm gonna run with.
Okay, I understand that. Now, in Nevis, you and Angel did have a moment off camera that spilled on screen when you shared what you just mentioned not too long ago about the word on the street being that Angel allegedly has a checker past when it comes to dating Bobby, and maybe not being so nice to other wags in that world. Do you think her response was warranted? Because she had the catfish situation. Then you and her spoke off camera about some things, and there was a lot of things building up to her finally just saying, "You know what? I'm done. I'm out." A lot of the ladies felt like, it doesn't matter what we bring to Angel, how we bring it to her, she's going to have an issue, and maybe this is not the group for her. Where are you
You know,
landing with that?
Listen, I'll say this. I like Angel. I think that the things that I heard about her after hearing her side of the story were justified. I'll say that. I will say that I do also believe that Angel had a really rough first season. And I know how that is more than a lot of the newbies. I think that Angel's disposition amongst the group and being so upset all the time was just a direct representation of her not really knowing what she signed up for. And I think that I was doing her a good one by pulling her to the side and being like, hey, I have several people in my DMs. This is what they're saying. Instead of making it a moment, because clearly I have a lot going on, I don't need moments. I could just talk about myself or give the girls tea on my own life.
Get into it.
But when I spoke to her, I didn't need a moment. I was actually trying to be the person that I needed my first season. I didn't want to snowball her when the time was right or when as soon as it got ticking to be like, oh, and blindside her with this. I could see that she was already having, sort of a rough season. So I wanted to be a little bit of a break from her thinking that everyone is just against her or her taking it the wrong way. Because in this group, a lot of the women want to get to know you. But in order to get to know you, I think that the method in this group in particular can be a little shady. I mean,
Ooh,
it's just what we do.
okay. I mean, it wouldn't be Potomac without the shade, right?
I had to find out the hard way too, baby.
Oh,
Like, it's
yeah.
okay. Like, it is okay, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now I have a viewer question from Dustin, and Dustin wants to know, since we're in Nevis, you had a heated argument with Tia on the cash trip because she brought up something off camera to the group. In that sense, do you agree with Stacy that Tia is one way in front of the cameras and another off screen?
I think that Tia can sometimes be one way in front of the cameras, but I think that Tia is new. So I think that she is reading the room. She's looking around at what this person is saying, at what this person is doing, and she's trying to navigate how she wants to react. So it's not always consistent, which can be frustrating, especially as somebody new coming around the group. One minute you're just prim and proper and super quiet, and then it's like you'll see one person go off, then you'll see Tia starting to get a little messy. And it's like, oh, hold on. Guess we
Oh,
shaking things up in here. Like, what's really going on? Like, is that who you are? Are you quick with it? Or are you just a person that is trying to kind of be a chameleon in regards to how you should behave? Now, what I will say is that because Tia is new, it's very valid to think that she's just trying to get to know the ladies first. I resonate with that kind of thought process. When I first joined the group, it was like, okay, these are not my friends, so I'm not going to be super quick and calling out everything. I'm still trying to get to know these ladies, but at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, I'm trying to get to know if these ladies are nice or nasty, and when they are nasty, I will let them know that if you want to go there, let's go. You know.
mhm. Well, now at the table, you let Tia know, let's go if you want to go. And there was a lot of response about it. Do
It
you
sure
stand
was.
beside it? Do you regret it, or do you stand beside how you felt at the table?
No, I definitely don't regret it. I absolutely stand beside how I felt at the table because at the end of the day, I literally had a very calm conversation with Tia when that happened. It was very friendly. It was very, let me draw a boundary because I know that you don't know me yet. Let me let you know where I am in my relationship as to why that's kind of offensive. First of all, Tia, you don't know how these girls get down. You saying that could mean that if I'm down, you could hook me up. And you're still getting
Mm,
to know this group, and that kind of banter in this group could later mean that somebody brings up something that's just not true as to who I am and who my character is. So I wanted to draw a line with Tia, and I did that very calmly, while we were in the van that same day. And I also explained to her, hey, like, I personally don't like stuff like that. Like, I get it, and maybe you don't mean any harm, but don't do stuff like that. And let's just keep this between us. The very next day, she had already told everyone that was in her side of her nanny's quarters that what the situation was, what had happened. So when it was even halfway brought up, I just snapped because I'm like, oh no, Tia, you sitting here, you over here quiet. You've been trying to be like, you don't want any smoke, but I actually asked you not to say that. And you even bringing it up. Okay, girl, you haven't had a big argument yet. You want one with Jassi? Let's go then. Like, come on, let's go. Because she was already like, oh my God, you're gonna be so mad at me and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you about to get your ass cussed out, girl.
oh my gosh. And there's the missing
And it
caveat.
wasn't even necessarily about the scenario. It was more so about the fact that, like, are you trying to be funny to it? Because clearly we had a conversation on the van. You made it to me as if you understood where I was coming from and how you would keep this between you and I. And then by the time we got to the table, I guess the news was running dry and she wanted to be a part of, conversation. So it was like brought back up, which was so stupid. So I'm just like, Tia, it's 14 days before my wedding. You don't know me like that. And I told you don't know me like that yesterday as to why this offended me. So now I'm just like, it's not a joke. Like, you playing with somebody's marriage, baby, and you playing amongst the wrong group. So don't do that.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I've
Mm,
known you a few weeks.
yeah.
So people want to say I was dramatic about it,
Mhm.
XYZ, XYZ, but it gave you're trying to be funny if I literally told you, hey, I don't like that. That's a boundary. We're on the same page. We moved along from it. But once I found out that, like, oh, I had already told them that I felt so bad. Why are you even talking about it? What do you mean you've already told them? Just shut your mouth about it.
And whoop, there it is. Now, speaking of whoop, there it is. One of our favorite trios so far in Potomac was you, Stacy, and Wendy. You even invited them into your home, like we saw this past week's episode. And they were there for you and celebrated with you in your fabulous wedding. Now, I have to ask you, you cropped Stacy out of one of your wedding photos.
Did I?
She didn't make it into the photo, so that was something going around on social. Is there an upcoming issue with you and Stacy, or is everything good and it was just an accident?
I think that the repost could have just been a situation where I didn't want anybody faking my photo. So I just did what any normal person would do. And if there's any upcoming issues, not necessarily any issues, just, you know, the mask starting to slip. That's all.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, Giselle says that Stacy only confirmed being in your wedding after it was confirmed that you would be, working with the group or filming with the group this season. Do you believe Giselle, or do you believe that this is one of the schemes that Giselle has set up to come to the show with the mess?
Giselle and Todd is running a close race, but I think that that is something that is truly so sacred to me. My wedding
Yeah.
day and having genuine people around me, with
Mhm.
my family, with people who watch me grow up, with people who genuinely love me, with people who are going to always be in my life, with people who God chose for me. I would be completely devastated if what Giselle is saying is true. But I think that there's going to be an incredible amount of dialect surrounding that. And there's going to be some things that make sense, and there's going to be some things that don't make sense. And I think that over the next few episodes, you'll see it unravel.
Oh my goodness. My heart's dropping. My heart's dropping here. Oh boy. So, with that being said, as we're having this dialect, do you feel like there's like a witch hunt for a gotcha moment with Stacy, or do the girls actually gotcha with Stacy?
You know what? I think that it is both. I think it's both.
Well, I won't press the situation. We're going to watch it unfold on Potomac, of course.
Yes.
Speaking of Stacy, what are your thoughts in regards to Stacy, quote unquote, hanging out with Monique's ex-husband, Chris? Is that a violation of girl code? Are we making too much about it? Monique seems to not care so far in the show. Like, where did you land on this being an issue?
I do feel that to me, if Monique is not upset about it, and it's her ex husband, I think that, the banter about whether or not she did it or how she did it or whatever is not really warranted. I think that Stacy would have been better off just saying from jump, I dated him, never slept with him, and he was single. Oh, well, bye bye. And that's pretty much what she's done.
Mhm.
I think that people are adults. And once you've lived enough life, you realize that as long as the person that you are dating is not married, is not in a committed relationship, or not out here, trying to lead certain women on and things like that. If he's a single man, then I don't think that Stacey should have ran around Potomac trying to reach Monique to get her approval when she's never met Monique a day of her life.
Facts. Heard you. Okay. All right. Now, whew, recently, former cast member and your Miami travel buddy, Mia Thornton was arrested. Uh, when we're talking about Miami, of course, but she was unfortunately arrested, and some allegations have ensued that she allegedly took $11,000 worth of furniture from her condo that she was renting. Now, with this arrest happening, and then of course situations with Wendy as well as Karen, have you reached out or spoken to any other ladies? And what are your thoughts on Mia's situation now?
I have reached out, and of course, I've spoken to Karen. I've reached out. I've spoken to Wendy. As far as Mia's situation goes, I'm not using this interview, my time, energy, or breath to really talk about Mia. She's not on the show anymore. Prayers to her family.
Okay, and had I known, I wouldn't have asked. So I'm sorry.
No, no. I mean, it's cool, but I mean, I just Mia is not really relevant to me.
Okay, so
So
let's
at
not.
this time, except
Okay,
for prayers to her family. I never want to see a mother go to jail, a
yeah,
father either. But at the end of
yeah,
the day, anybody that is serving real jail time is something that I really wouldn't wish on anybody.
yeah.
So
Okay,
prayers
absolutely.
to
We could
me.
just move right on forward. Now, I do have um, a couple of your questions, and we're out. This one is there anyone in particular at the reunion you want to address?
Anyone in particular at the reunion that I'd like to address? There is, there is. I will say, yeah, there is, but I think it'll be a shocker if I said it, and I don't want to give her any heads up.
Okay, listen. And so for everybody watching, he should have pressed, he should have asked the question, the follow-up question. It's also called being respectful. And so if she says she does not want to get it, there's no need for me to press the situation. But I definitely was going to ask before you said you wanted to keep it a surprise. So we're going to be surprised at the reunion. It's okay to be
Well,
surprised.
yeah, we're going to be surprised. I've heard, I got to get caught up myself. I've been extremely busy, but I got to
Mhm.
get caught up with a few things because a few of the fans keep the girls informed about
Yes,
what's
they
going
do.
on themselves.
Yes.
And I have to cross check what a few people said in my DMs about a certain someone who I was quite shocked to be being shady toward me and an after show, etc. So I have to figure out that situation and probably won't be talking to her until then. So yeah, gonna definitely be addressing some things.
And like I like to say, whoop, there it is. Now, another one is this is from Antonio from Atlanta. What would your dream cast of Potomac be?
Oh my gosh, a dream cast of Potomac.
Yes, who would you like to be in a friend group with in Potomac?
Okay, all right. In a friend group in Potomac, it would be Jazzy, Karen for sure, Giselle, of course. I would say, oh no, that's gonna be shady. I'm not doing that. I would say I want to see more of Monique, but Monique would be there in some capacity. Um, I really like Candace. I think that she is
Mhm.
great. I think that she's
Ooh,
talented, has a lot going on.
yeah,
So definitely could throw Candace back in the mix. Her and her mom, I think, are absolutely hilarious.
they are.
And I would say, although Ashley gets messy, she's given incredible confessionals, and she's also the kind of person that is not scared to just be so messy, but to get some of the questions out that a lot of people would want to know. I like Ashley. I think that she would be good on there. I think that the remaining would be a few of my friends,
Okay.
and I think that we got a solid cast.
All right. Well, again, there it is. There you have Jazzy's dream Real Housewives of Potomac cast. We're gonna play this game and then we're out. It's called Hot Shots, honey. Get into it. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
All
Okay,
right.
okay, okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
say a name and you're gonna say the very first thing. The very
Okay.
first thing that comes to your mind is basically word association. So when I say the name, first thing comes to your mind, let it rip. Okay, Giselle,
Green.
Angel,
Mm, what do I say? Bobby.
Ashley,
Messy.
Keiarna,
Cute face. Adorable.
Monique,
Holistic.
Tia,
British.
Wendy.
Professor.
This is funny. Cookie.
Long nails, big boobs, weave a
Karen.
little greasy, but we love
Oh,
her.
oh my God. Okay. Karen.
Cookie gonna hit me up for that one, but I
Cookie's
had
gonna
to.
get you. Karen.
She is gonna get me. Karen,
Hmm.
OG.
All right. I did have another name down there, but we're gonna pass on that name.
Go
Okay.
ahead, ask me. I'll answer.
It was Mia.
Liar.
All right. Now, the last time we saw each other, I asked you what were your hopes for season 10, and I wanted to know, did those hopes happen, and where do you look forward to for the rest of season 10? You wanted the
You
girls
know,
to
it's
be more
funny that you
trusting in you. Yeah.
say it again.
You wanted the girls to be more trusting with one another, that they wouldn't take, intimate, vulnerable moments on screen and really build trust and sisterhood and all of the
As I was
things.
trying to do it,
Yeah.
Angel. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Uh yeah, yes, yes. We definitely moved forward in a way that was way more sisterly than last season was. I will say that. And I think that a lot of the blow ups this season is happening because we actually have a lot of incredible women on this season's cast. I mean, I truly believe in my heart of hearts that we have good hearted women who are not just women who are dark, in their soul and who want to harm you or hurt you or, say the worst things to you to make you feel incredibly bad about yourself. I think that a lot of the cast is given a lot to not only show the world who they are, but to also make a good show. And they're trying to ask the right questions. They try to do the right thing. Sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. But I can look at every single woman on our cast in Potomac and say that they're giving all they have. And maybe some of what they have may not resonate with certain fans, but there's always a fan out there who's loving that person, regardless of how much we as a cast may not like them. So I think that I want to see all of the girls win. I think that this cast was great. I think it was a hard season. Season 10 is a big season for us. And I think that the girls, gave as much as they could and everybody did the best they could. And if I'm honestly speaking, thinking about all of the ladies, I think that because I have gotten to know most of them on a more intimate level, I could see myself possibly with, maybe some therapy amongst the friend group, being, close to these ladies for, a long time. And for me personally, I know that's not the case for everyone, but for me, I could see myself being friends with them, even if there were no cameras around.
Okay. Now, the last question I have is, does Jazzy want a flute?
Jazzy wants a check that clears. And I think that both positions offer that.
Hmm.
So I do think that for me, getting on this show was never something that I said, oh, I want to do in a full time role or in a friend role. To be honest with you, it really wouldn't have made me feel away if I came into the show on either position, because again, both checks clear. But learning more about the platform and figuring out what's the difference between full time and friend of, because clearly I'm filming in my house, I'm filming a lot. I really didn't understand the true dynamic that makes the difference. And I think that I think that not just for me, but for my family and my family's history, real rich history, where I'm not having to make up arguments, because I'd rather be talking about how my grandmother helped Black people own homes in Oklahoma and how my family has a rich history and still lives on the hundreds of acres down in Oklahoma with tons of just natural holistic farming and things like that they do. I think will be not only a blessing for me to see and watch back, but for the world to really get into and get to see how Black people are living, and to kind of negate that stereotype as to what Black families look like. I think that would be great. But again, as long as both checks clear, our HOP can call me.
I heard that. All righty. So before you go, first we want to go ahead and tell Lash congratulations on her engagement. We saw that for you WWE watchers out there.
Oh
Happy
my God,
blessed
I
birthday.
cried real tears. I
Yes,
was like, I'm so happy for my cousin. I'm so happy for her and her man.
yeah.
I should have added her to the Dream Potomac cast.
Oh my
That
God,
that
Lash
that
Legend of
was
Real
my
Housewives would
that
be like,
baby. That's who I would have added. That she'll be a part of my people.
yeah,
But yeah, congratulations to her and Trick
yes.
both. They're both incredible, taking over WWE. And congratulations to her on moving up to the
Main roster,
WWE. I
right?
was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah, to the main roster. So yeah, that's just how my bloodline too. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you're gonna find out.
Right. Okay. Now tell us about Doing Good for Dallas and any other projects you have coming up and what we need to know. So tell us everything.
Yes, so Doing Good in Dallas is going to be one of the biggest toy drives that America has ever seen. It happens every year. It is put on by Tia. I'm gonna butcher her last name, but it starts with Mazzoi or something like that. She's the owner of Stella Jets, and I met her through a time that I was on one of her private jets, and we connected. And of course, I have ties to Dallas. I was there last year. I'm right from Oklahoma, so Dallas had always been like the city where we go and do our shopping and things like that. So I have a lot of ties to Dallas, but Doing Good in Dallas is a huge event that's going to support families amongst this holiday season. We're going to give different toys and different donations. There's going to be an incredible amount of celebrities there just giving back and who are serious about philanthropy and just trying to help those that are less fortunate. So that event is tomorrow. I'll be flying out in the morning to get ready for it and just to advocate for those kids and to write a check myself and just to try to be a pillar of success amongst people that look like me, those who don't look like me, those who are underprivileged, and just try to help out the kids in any way that we can.
All right. And let us know anything else that we need to know about you coming up in the next few weeks, months, whatever. Rideau hair, anything.
Absolutely. So obviously, I own my hair extensions company. Shout out to all of my new customers that I'm also seeing over the past few weeks and months. I have tons of different textures and different products like K-tips and things like that coming in. And I just want the girlies to remember that Rideau Hair is serious about the quality. Recently had to go with another company since I was on the road and my bag didn't make it. And it just reminded me why Rideau Hair is really that girl because it's the quality for me. And I am an advocate for raw hair that's going to last you years, so you don't have to buy it every month. And so I want the girlies to make sure that they look out for that. Make sure you check on my history tab if you want to know why I started Rideau Hair and what an honor it is honoring my grandmother through my hair extensions company.
All right. Well, Jazzy, it's such an honor for me to have you here on No Chaser TV. I want to thank you
Yes,
so
you done
much.
came on here, asked the questions.
I was
Lord
gonna
have
get into the
mercy.
stocks, okay? And I want to thank over the 125,000 followers across No Chaser TV platforms for just really showing all of the love. And you housewives, you Jazzy, everyone, you guys play a major part in that. So thank you so much for being here with me today. And I know it's Monday, we got Monday Night Football, so I'm gonna let you on back onto it. But thank you so much for stopping by with us, okay?
Thank you, No
We
Chaser
appreciate
TV,
you.
for having me.
No problem. Thank you.
See you.